Eastern Illinois head coach Chris Wilkerson, the team 45-38 winners over in-state foe Western Illinois. This week they are back in action. They will be at Gardner Webb, the first meeting between the teams. So, Coach, some thoughts about your squad, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Just I was pleased with the way the guys battled. Um, it certainly wasn't pretty, but we had a number of guys continue to step up, and it was a heck of a football game. And the bottom line is we found a way to win, to finish. Offensively, there was some good things with finally, hey, 0 3-and-outs and zero turnovers, and defensively, we played with a little more energy. I'd say than we maybe had the last few weeks. So a lot of respect for Joe and what he is building at Western. Again, their offense is absolutely phenomenal. And so it was a heck of a football game and just very fortunate to come out on the positive side of the score. So huge challenge this week. Got to go on the road. Like you said, first time to play against Gardner Webb and Coach Reisert has done a phenomenal job assembling a physical football team. And, it's an area that I've never been to and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to compete this Saturday.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to some questions. I know Barry's with us. Go ahead, Barry. Where you got?
Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
Morning, Barry. How you doing?
Good, doing well. I wanted to ask you, Kalen Drakeford mentioned after the game that he felt like this team is not done fighting. And I'm curious about what kind of the mood and the mindset has been like after Saturday.
Yeah, I think again, these guys have battled all year. That hasn't really been our problem. We just haven't been able to execute and play 4 quarters of football, and still really didn't play 4 quarters in all 3 phases. Our special teams were not great on Saturday, and defensively we played okay in spurts and not great in other spurts, but found a way to win. So I have no question that they have fight in them, and that we're going to continue to battle. And that's what we've talked about is just, hey, finding a way to battle every single week and having some fun with your brothers and finish this journey of this group. So again, excited about the opportunity to play this weekend and just looking forward to getting back to the preparation.
You mentioned Saturday, Gardner Webb is a place you guys haven't been. It's also a flight. So there's some unique things about this week. Does it change your preparation at all?
The preparation, no. Certainly, yeah, you'll hear guys talk about, depending on the distance in our league, they'll talk about winning the trip. And yes, it will be unique. It will be our one flight experience this year. So, hey, we'll do everything like we have, but, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, we'll do our practice here. And then we will actually fly on Friday. And so we'll be there much like we would for a standard bus overnight trip. It's just going to be an hour, a 90-minute flight. So it's a little less time actually spent in the transportation mode. And then we'll get there and, hey, we'll have our final meetings and eat a meal and go to bed and get up and play the game. It is 12:30 on our time, Central Time. So it'll be early, this earliest that we've had a chance to kick this fall. But again, excited about that and controlling what we can. And that's just our attitude, certainly our energy and our approach or preparation for this weekend.
You mentioned that MJ has really improved as both a pass catcher and in pass protection. I'm curious if you could explain a little bit about just how he's specifically improved in those areas and how far he's come in those 2 areas.
Yeah, so certainly, playing running back has its physical challenges for everybody. You're going to take hits and they're violent and you're asked to protect the football every time you touch the football. But really it's about creating muscle memory and then just, letting your trusting your own instincts and hey, understanding the timing of the pace and the angle of the play for the run game and then just going and being yourself. And he's been great with that from day one. But the areas that are, a little more challenging for the backs sometimes are certainly pass protection, depending on how much you're going to smoke and flop or flip the protections, how the communication works with the offensive line, and tight ends and quarterback. And then certainly, route running and ball catching is a skill that is completely developed, I think, over time. And some guys have it naturally and some guys have to work really hard at it. But MJ has been a very hard worker from day one. He's developed himself physically in the weight room. He's almost 220 pounds this year. I think he's 219. He's very durable. A guy that is a every single down running back now. Some guys are, hey, they're going to play on first and second down and they're really not third down backs. Either they struggle to catch, they don't really understand the spatial awareness, or don't understand the protections, but he is an every single down running back, has done a phenomenal job continuing to grow and develop, and certainly had a complete game again on Saturday for us.
MJ mentioned that, his 65-yard run late in the game, which kind of took a little bit of pressure off you guys and lifted the mood there at the end. He mentioned how it wasn't specifically designed, how it ended up. Can you explain about what you'd appreciated about that play and just the effort that he made on that play to break so many tackles?
Yeah, and certainly, rightfully so. He did break a ton of tackles, but there were some guys blocking at the point of attack that weren't perfect, but they were battling, and that's what we talk about: finding a way to stay attached. They weren't really square. They kind of had gotten turned in the hole and gave him one cut, but they found a way to stay on their guy and make sure that their guy didn't make the first hit. And then as the play continued to develop, you get a chance to watch our guys on offense continue to run down the field with him and try to find a way to get in anybody else's way just to allow him to finish that run. And, quite frankly, I think he just ran a little bit out of gas on that run. But, it epitomizes kind of what this group has been about all year. It's just about battling and trying to find a way and playing hard for each other. So, again, I was pleased with the results for MJ, certainly individually, and for our team on Saturday, but a lot of things for us to clean up and improve on as we finish this journey.
With all the injuries you've had at wide receiver, what of the production you've gotten from your tight ends? Obviously, Alex Juniver had a huge day on Saturday. What has that production from that position meant for you guys?
It's been huge. We talked about Ginevra getting his first start against TSU 3 weeks ago, and then playing against Martin and catching a few balls, and certainly continuing to develop and improve even more this last Saturday with 2 touchdown catches. We've talked about Alex Herrera as well. He's a guy that has played in the slot for us. He's been attached. He's been detached. He's blocked well on the perimeter. And then certainly Manavez obviously was a productive player for us for a number of years. And we may even get Manny back maybe the last game of the season. He's really working hard, and I hope he does get that chance to finish the way that he wants to finish on the field. And there's some other guys in that room too that push themselves. Jordan Sprike is a guy that's played well for us early in the year, but we've decided to try to redshirt him. And Joe McNabb is another guy that's been an awesome program player and a guy that's big and continue to develop, and came back from a potentially career-ending injury before I arrived here, and has been just phenomenal. So Coach Cole Hoover, who's an Eastern Illinois graduate himself, has done a phenomenal job with that room, just developing a culture and helping develop those guys individually. They all work very, very hard. It's been great to watch, and certainly been needed with the injuries that we have had on the perimeter.
Great. Thank you for your time, Coach. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, Barry.
You referenced a little bit in your open, but Gardner Webb, what have they've had some really close games. You all had some too, and they just didn't get the win, but they probably played good enough to win. Can you expand maybe a little bit on that?
They are a lot better than their overall record says. Again, they play JMU, who's a phenomenal football program, in a 13-7 battle. They play the University of Charlotte. They're 2 FBS opponents, and they lose by 1. Opening the season against a quality Wofford team, who, again, a very, very close football game. Every single week, their hard hat, lunch pail, hard hitting, physical, twitchy football team shows up. And so I know, again, they've had a lot of turnover. Coach Reisert has done an amazing job assembling a group of talent. They're very well coached, and they play hard. So we're going to have our hands full. Again, offensively, that 3-headed monster at tailback, they all run hard with their shoulders over their toes. The offensive line is athletic and well coached. They stay attached to people. The tight end is actually somebody who was on the roster at UTC when we played him in 22 here at O'Brien. Big, 6'6", 240 pounds. He's a problem. Your safeties don't match up real well with him if you don't have bigger guys, and linebackers typically don't run well enough to cover him all the time. Their wide receivers are, again, twitchy and can make plays. And then on defense, they're phenomenal in the front six. The linebacking core run and hit guys. They're not afraid to contest you, and they're a veteran group in the back end. So we're going to see a lot of man-to-man. The bottom line is our guys are going to have to try to win some one-on-one battles. That's what it comes down to for this Saturday. But excited about the opportunity again to play against a very well-coached, talented football team.
We talk about long-time rivalries, Western, Indiana State, Illinois State. What's it like, though, to play a team for the first time? Is that not fun, but is it nice to try to play somebody the program hasn't ever played before?
Yeah, I would say it's exciting. Again, our guys we have a ton of players who've never even been to North Carolina. And we actually will fly into GSP, Greensville, Spartanburg airport. And so we'll actually fly into South Carolina, but then drive over the day of the game. So it's exciting to see a new place and experience some new stuff for our players. And I think that's one of the unique things about this league is the geographic diversity allows for a unique experience for an FCS player. And so I'm really excited about it. I know the league has been, phenomenal this year from top to bottom, again, every single week. you don't have a chance to dwell on your defeats or celebrate any success. You just got to move on to the next. And that's what we got to do this Saturday.
Perfect. Appreciate your time. Good luck in the trip, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thanks a million, Kyle. Go Panther.